Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have Vibram shoes for the very first time on my channel, and these are Vibram ELX minimalist fitness training water climbing shoes, whatever you want to use them for. So, as some of you already know, this review it's not just a regular shoe review. This review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section. Yes, I know these are not boots, but check this out. Now, you probably already with all the boots that I have reviewed on this channel, and trust me guys, there was a lot. If you never been on my channel, check out all the reviews. I have a lot of them and more are coming this way. But you probably already picked yourself a good pair of survival boots, alright? Think about your whatever situation you want to think about, use your imagination. Survival situation, you have to leave your house, you have to walk, you have to run, climb, fight, do whatever is necessary to survive, right? But you get to the point where you have to go lightweight. Maybe you need to climb up the hill, or get into the building, or do something that requires you to be as lightweight as possible, as mobile as possible. Maybe you're crossing a short creek or something like that. Anyway, you probably would want to have something like this in your backpack. Then you can quickly take off your boots, put on this, and then climb up the hill, climb up the building, cross the creek, do whatever you want to do. And then this thing, if it gets wet, it dries up quickly. So now you can put it back into your survival backpack, put on your boots, and keep on going, right? So now we are on the search for a very good lightweight water shoe, climbing shoe. And so here goes this review. Vibram, one of the best outsoles on the market. Currently $87 on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Let the review begin. Alright, as some of you already know, this review, I do 8 different criteria to make the judgment. And so let's start. The criteria number 1, of course, comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots, shoes, whatever kind of shoes they are, including these, I do a 3-mile run non-stop and then a 5-mile walk right after, non-stop, no pauses in between. Total wear time is about 8 hours. And these are fairly comfortable. There are a few factors, of course, that contribute and take away from that comfort level. Let's start with the very first one, of course, the weight. Now, where's my scale? Let's see if my scale will even detect this weight right here, because this is practically non-existent. Size 10. 3.9, so 399 on 4 ounce. Literally the lightest thing I ever had on this channel. So great job with the weight, of course. Vibram, I mean, you wouldn't expect anything more considering what you're getting here. But let's talk about something that kind of takes away from the comfort level a little bit. And that's the inner sole. The inner sole is practically non-existent. There's a tiny little layer of whatever it is going straight into the outsole. Alright? So whenever you're running, if you're planning to run in these, it is very important to run properly without putting any stress on your heels. If you do, it will transfer to your ankles, to your knees. Not good, alright? Because there is absolutely no kind of cushioning to give you any kind of impact protection from the bottom. So keep that in mind. I mean, there is cushioning, but it's practically non-existent, alright? Another thing that contributes, takes away from the comfort level, of course, is the material itself. There is absolutely no padding or anything like that, and you probably noticed the fingers. That's a whole other thing. This is one of the features. We will talk about it in the features. But whenever it comes to the comfort, I personally am not a fan of this whole finger. I don't see the point of having this finger here in the first place. Besides making it extremely hard to put these on. Because by the time you finally get each finger in the right freaking place where it belongs here, you spent like 5 minutes trying to figure it out. So I don't know. I don't see the point. And it does affect the comfort negatively. All right. So the overall, you know, I mean, the outsole is super flexible, as you can see. It doesn't take no space. They're super lightweight. You can easily put them in a backpack. Can you run in them? Absolutely. You can definitely run in them if you know how to properly run without putting too much stress. And even if you don't, you still can. Just, you know, be prepared that you're gonna, you know, mess up your knees and mess up your ankles. Just don't run for too long, I guess, if you don't know how to run properly. But the comfort-wise, I am impressed with the weight. I just wish the fingers were not there, because they definitely do take away from the comfort level. And I do wish that there was a little bit, just a tiny little bit, more padding in the inner sole. But finish up with that. Let's move on to the criteria number 2 really quickly: proofing and protection. There's no proofing. These are not waterproof, which is completely fine with me. They will dry up super fast. And whenever it comes to protection, there really is not much protection anywhere in here at all, including the outsole, because it is so thin. So don't step on anything sharp, all right? Now, the rubber itself, the Vibram outsole, is one of the best outsoles, and we will talk about it later. But it is very, very, very thin. So again, don't step on anything sharp. But let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality-wise, Vibram, I mean, their outsoles are fantastic. Their shoes seem to be popular too. I mean, this particular model has over 2,200 reviews on Amazon and almost 5 stars. So people do like this, and I see why. This is a good quality. It's very lightweight. I wish comfort was better. I wish there was no finger grooves, and that kind of brings me to the design features. I think really the only design feature here is that there is no lacing system. It's just straight slip on. So very easy, very quick to put it on. But then this whole point of being easy to put on kind of disappears with these fingers, because like I said, I don't know, maybe you need some practice to get each finger in the right spot, but it took me forever before I actually did that. There is absolutely no point in having this in the first place. It would have been much better if there was just one full, complete, whatever toe box instead of these fingers. It just doesn't make sense to me. But let's move on to the criteria number 4, outsole traction and stability. Now, like I said, Vibram outsole, whenever used on other boots, is literally one of the best outsoles out there. Excellent quality rubber and always good pattern. And the pattern is pretty good here as well. It is on the flatter side, so it is a little bit slippery on surfaces like wet grass. It is fantastic on the sand though, dry sand, wet sand, it doesn't matter. Whenever I do my run and my walk, I do it on a variety of different surfaces, including the grass, wet grass, dry grass, concrete, marble tile, rocky road, trail surface, sand, asphalt, literally anything you can think of. And then I have the rock wall in my house as well. And like I said, this is a bit slippery on the wet grass. The reason, because there is pretty much no aggression in this outsole at all. But it is fantastic on the sand. So if this was my choice for, you know, crossing the creek, I would be very careful on, you know, on those boulders, on the rocks, on the wet rocks. They're very slippery, and this is not exactly the kind of outsole I would pick for that. I wish there was a little bit more aggression, but overall it is pretty good. Let's move on to the criteria number 5 really quick. Temperature. I mean, obviously don't even think about this in the winter. This has nothing to do with cold temperature. In the hot temperatures, surprisingly, these do feel a little bit hot, probably because of the material that is laying flat over your skin, especially these parts that have no breathability. I honestly was surprised that my feet were overheating in these more than in some boots, some waterproof boots that I reviewed on this channel. Yeah, so I mean, that's not a big deal if you're using it for, you know, here and there to put it on and do something and then take it off and put on your boots or whatever, or shoes. But if you're planning to use this as something for a long term, for a long hike, for example, or something like that, you might not feel very comfortable wearing this for a long time because they feel pretty hot. Now, criteria number 6, really quickly here, is the sizing. They do run true to the size, so no problems with that. Criteria number 7 is the balance of application. So if this really was your backpack type of shoe that you were, minimalist shoe that, something bad happened, you were walking, and now you had to climb or do something where you needed something very, very light on your feet, would these be good as those light shoes, right, in your backpack? I think that's definitely an option. I really wish there was no fingers. I am not a fan of this. I don't know, guys. Maybe you like it. If you do, it's fine. Everybody has their own preference, but I am not a fan of this. This does not feel comfortable, and it makes it way harder to put on and take them off. Well, taking them off is pretty much the same thing as anything else, but putting them on because of the fingers, it just takes forever for absolutely no reason. But I am super impressed with the lightweight. Outsole is not my favorite, but there are a lot of Vibram shoes types of this similar type. I actually do have them sitting around here hanging out. I'm gonna be doing review on all of these, so make sure to subscribe if you wanna see more reviews of these Vibram shoes. So let's move on to the very last criterion. Here is the price. Criterion number 8, the price. Like I said in the beginning, $87.95. I don't know where exactly Vibram decided to get that price from, but for $87 you can get practically anything you want. You can get amazing running shoes, you can get amazing trail running shoes, you can get amazing water shoes, you can get great climbing shoes, you can get amazing hiking boots. Literally anything you want in that price range. I don't know what exactly is justifiable worth $87 here, because really there is only this piece of rubber, which, I mean, it's a good quality rubber, it's Vibram, but it is insanely thin and it's not exactly stable or anything like that. And the rest of the shoe is, I mean, it's practically non-existent. So not entirely sure how Vibram justifies that price. To me, I would say maybe should be somewhere around $30-40, so at least half of the $87 range. But again, I'm not the one making up the prices. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about these Vibram shoes? What do you think about this review? If you have any suggestions or requests, drop them in the comments below. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.